accountable and not to make any excuses in any way. The way I behaved today was disgusting and horrible, and Matt's reaction was absolutely correct. It was one of disgust. I think so many problematic phrases go unchallenged, and they portray negativity and hate and intolerance, and today I was a part of that, and I am truly sorry. Moving forward, I will endeavour with every ounce of me to make sure that the words I use create love and happiness and tolerance, and never create hate or intolerance or unhappiness or sadness for anyone, because that's never my intention. That's never anything that I've ever wanted to do. And I will deeply consider the words I use to make sure that they encapsulate exactly what I mean and exactly what I'm trying to say, rather than sending out a message that I in no way mean. So I just want to say that I'm deeply sorry to all of you and to my castmates, and I'm sorry for disappointing my fans and the fans of the show and all of you and everyone here and myself. So I'm truly sorry.
My mum is hoovering in the background, so if you hear any background noise, that's probably what it is. Coincidentally, with the topic that I'm talking about today, I'm wearing my gay pride shirt. I wasn't really intentional, it just sort of happened, because I just threw it on, and then I found out all the stuff that had happened. I was like, oh shit, I gotta talk about this in a video. So here I am talking about it in a video. So what is it that happened? Well, this morning when I was scrolling through my Instagram, Shadowhunters TV had posted up 3 videos in succession with one another of Dominic Sherwood and Matthew Daddario, and I turned the volume up to see what they were talking about, and Dominic was apologising for something, and at first I thought it was a joke. I thought they were going somewhere with it. I thought it was like a skit or something they were doing, you know, the way the cast mess around and stuff like that, but no, it was a genuine apology. Something had happened, and upon looking into it, I realised that yesterday on Matthew Daddario's Facebook Live, or one of the videos that he posted up onto his story on Instagram, Dominic Sherwood is clearly heard saying the word fag, or faggot. I don't know which one it is. From what I've heard, because I'm pretty sure they've taken it all down, so I can't find it, but from what I've heard, Dominic Sherwood is heard saying "what's up fag" to Matthew Daddario. And what I've heard from other people is that it seemed like it was an inside joke between them both, but he said it when everyone was listening, and apparently Matthew's reaction was pretty like standard kind of shock and stuff like that, and obviously Dominic posted an apology today on the Shadowhunters page saying sorry for what I said. So what I think of this as a member of the LGBT community myself, I have been called an array of names for being a lesbian. I have been called dyke a lot by people I don't even know, and I personally just get on with it. I try not to give words power over me. I try not to let them bother me or get me annoyed or upset, and I try not to let them have a handle on me or how I feel. So when it comes to words like fag, faggot, and I don't know, fairy, or whatever they call, dyke, you know, anything that involves a derogatory term towards the LGBT community, I don't get too bothered by it. If it's directed at me, it's water off a duck's back. I'm a big fan of Jinx Monsoon's mantra, water off a duck's back. You just get on with it. But in saying that, I know that there's a lot of people who would get offended by that. Do I personally agree with being offended by it? No, but that's me. I don't let myself get offended by these things. But there are a lot of people out there that would. I personally believe that we all need to work on not giving words the power that they have at the moment. A lot of people give the things that other people say too much power over them and how they feel. But that's just the way it is, I suppose. That's just how life was working out these days. I'm hoping we'll be able to move forward to a point where we won't have to be as offended by words as we are now. Because I personally think words, they're just a string of letters pushed together into a word, you know? someone way back in the day invented the word faggot, and they invented the N-word against black people, and it's just letters. It's just letters of the alphabet strung together to create a term that over the years has been viewed as derogatory and offensive. And as I say, I hope that we reach a day someday where words are just words and we throw them at each other and they don't really do anything. Like, they just bounce off us and no one cares. But reaching that kind of goal takes a lot of work. Reaching that type of goal would take a lot of conditioning in terms of how we feel and how our brains work. So, honestly, I understand why Dominic made an apology. Am I bothered by him saying fag? No. Personally, I'm not. I don't think it's a big deal. When it comes to issues like this, I'm always a lot more forgiving than the majority of other people are. For example, recently PewDiePie slipped up in one of his live streams and he said the N-word. And a lot of people freaked out about it, a lot of people were on his side, a lot of people weren't on his side. I was one of the people on his side because, again, as I say, I feel like we give people too much power. And the most important thing to me is that he apologised. It took him a couple of days, but he did apologise. We're all human, we all make mistakes, and the only way to make up for these mistakes is to apologise. Not only did he apologise, he took down his video about the Wall Street Journal because he said he felt like he didn't learn anything and he felt like it didn't belong up anymore. We know what we do wrong when we say these words. We know that we've made a mistake. And for the case of PewDiePie, it was in the heat of a moment. When we're playing games in particular, we try to find the worst word we can possibly find. I was playing the first Spyro game in my sister's house. The first Spyro game. The very first one, keep in mind. And I was calling effing and blinding and calling everyone bastards, and it's just how we play games. It's just what happens when we're frustrated. Does it mean that I agree with throwing out the N-word casually and saying it whenever you want? No, of course not. Don't use it if it's not necessary. Well, there's no real necessary time to use it, but there's a difference between saying something with the intent of harming someone and saying it by accident, or saying it out of anger or frustration, or just because you didn't mean to, it just came out. There's a difference in that. And it's the same case for Dominic Sherwood. A lot of people I've seen have said that it seems like it was an inside joke between him and Matthew Daddario for him to come up to him and say, "What up, fag?" Whether that's true or not, I don't know, because I've heard that Matthew Daddario's response to him saying that wasn't great, but whatever it was, obviously Dominic wasn't coming up to him to say, "What up, fag?" in a way to make fun of him, or the fact that he plays a gay character, obviously. The cast of this show, even Dominic, respect and adore the characters of this show. So obviously him saying fag was not a comment on Matthew playing Alec. In fact, Alec probably didn't even cross Dominic's mind when he said this. I know that for sure. Alec did not cross Dominic's mind when he said fag, because it wouldn't. I'm sorry. I don't think they're lying when they say they care about these characters. I don't think it's a ploy to sell the show and to make people watch episodes and to make people be fans of them. I really do genuinely think that every single person involved in this show cared deeply about the characters, especially the minority ones, and not even the minority ones, the non-minority ones, because they are just as important. And again, like with PewDiePie, Dominic apologised. He apologised as soon as he got the opportunity. He recorded a video in 3 sections with Matthew Daddario, and I found the apology very heartfelt. Whether other people think that he was bullshitting or just making up whatever it was to save his ass, that is on you. That is up to you to think that, but I personally believe that he genuinely meant it. I don't buy this whole vendetta that the fandom seems to have against Dominic Sherwood because he is a straight white male. I don't buy it. I don't like it. I think it's very discriminatory to hold Dominic to a different standard from everyone else because he is a straight white male playing a straight white male. That doesn't come into it. You should treat Dominic the same way if he said fag as you would treat Harry Shum Jr. if he said fag. But I can easily see people being easier on Harry because he is a minority man, he's Asian, he's playing a minority character, a bisexual Asian. I feel like people would be a lot more easy on Harry than they would on Dominic. Just because Dominic is a straight white male, he can't say this word and his apology isn't enough. I don't buy into that. I never have. I've mentioned it before in these videos that I don't think someone's colour, skin, sexual orientation, position in race or status, none of that should come into what they say or do. I don't think that what we look like or where we are from should come into judgment when it comes to our actions. Our actions come from us, what we decide, our brains. It is not to do with our sexuality or our colour of skin or anything like that. Dominic didn't say fag because he was straight, and for PewDiePie didn't say the N-word because he's white. It just happened. PewDiePie was frustrated. Dominic must have just let it slip out. I do not believe for 1 second that he uses that word on a regular basis to insult people, and as I said, I would only find issue with it if someone came out with this word with the intention to harm. If he was calling Matthew a faggot just because they were fighting or something, and he called him a faggot because he was angry with him, and he was using the word with the intent to harm him or make him feel angry, that is the only time that I would feel like it would need to have a bit more than just an apology, because he was obviously trying to hurt someone, but that wasn't what he was doing. He was obviously saying it in a very jokey way, he meant it in a jokey way, he wasn't trying to hurt anybody, and he said that in his apology. And Matthew also added that they care about their fans, because they do. They care about all of us. They care about all of us who are straight, gay, lesbian, bisexual, white, black, Asian, any other minority. They care about all of us. It doesn't, like, they would never dream of doing something that would be considered discriminatory or racist or homophobic. Because if Dominic Sherwood was homophobic to the point that he hated gay people and thought we were all faggots or dykes and stuff like that, he would not be in a show with such a massive LGBT representation in it. He just wouldn't. I know a lot of people would say, oh, well, you know, he's a straight white male, he doesn't understand, he would be in it for the money. You obviously don't understand homophobia. Homophobia is where you despise gay people to the point where you can't even be around them or around the idea of it. He wouldn't be on this show if he was homophobic. He just wouldn't. And defining words as homophobia when they're not used in the context of harming or offending, to me it's pointless, because it's word policing. It's this idea that people seem to have that every word that comes out of your mouth needs to be policed. People never consider, like, intent of saying a word. They never consider what you were meaning when you said the word or what you were trying to do when you said it. And people never consider the context. That was the whole issue with PewDiePie's stuff at the start of the year. No one considered the context. It just happened, and it got blown out of proportion in the media. And I bet I'll be seeing news reports about Dominic Sherwood all over the place just because he said, "What's up, fag?" Come on, there are worse things to be dealing with when it comes to homophobia. There are some countries where people who are gay are getting slaughtered for it. Saying the word fag without the intent of hurt, I don't think that should be our priorities in the term of homophobia, because I don't believe for 1 second that Dominic Sherwood is homophobic in the first place, and I don't believe that he said fag with the intent of hurting Matthew Daddario. So my entire viewpoint on this is that I forgive him. He made the apology, and I forgive him. As a member of the LGBT community, I forgive him, because it's that easy. He didn't mean it. He apologized. And I forgive him. That's the way life should be. Okay? So Dominic Sherwood, thank you for the apology. I really appreciate it. I forgive you. God, I didn't expect my next video to be so dark. I planned out something else entirely, because last week was the anniversary of Doctor Who. I was going to make a video about Doctor Who, but then this happened. So, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see that I said that I'm going to do videos every fortnight now, just so I can sort of have more time to kind of develop ideas, and sort of have more time to record and edit and stuff like that. Except for this video, because this just happened on Tuesday, and then I made the video on Wednesday, but I'll be doing it every fortnight from now on. So check out my Twitter, Instagram, blog, all that crap. And I'll see you next week. Not next week, I'll see you in 2 weeks, guys. And remember, forgive. Forgive and forget, spread love, concern yourself with the more important issues in the world than accidentally saying a word without malicious intent. Please, okay?